So for breakfast this morning, I decided to make some chocolate oats, but of course I had to start off my day with a coffee. I'm just having the Moccona hazelnut coffee here with some almond milk. I have gotten onto the almond milk bandwagon at the moment and I'm just having it all the time and I'm really enjoying it. So anyway, here I'm making my oats. It's pretty similar to the oats I made in a recent recipe, which I will link in the top right corner. It's where I ate like Stephanie from Naturally Stephanie for a day. And so yeah, I'm basically using that recipe, but I'm adding in some protein powder just to give it a bit of extra flavor. And then I'm also adding in some raspberries and peanut butter, which you'll see later. But the full recipe is in the description box below. So if you want to make this, the exact measurements are down there so you can check it out. So once I put that in the microwave for about 1.5 minutes, I'm just adding in my frozen raspberries, and then I put that back in the microwave for another minute just to soften the raspberries because I prefer them when they're slightly warm and not rock solid. So now I'm just adding in my peanut butter. I'm using the Bega 100% nuts crunchy peanut butter here, which is my favorite peanut butter by far. It's so creamy and delicious. And then I'm just topping that off with a little bit of almond milk again for some extra creaminess. This breakfast is honestly so delicious and I highly recommend giving it a go. Alright, so now on to lunch number 1. Yes, you read that correctly. I did end up having 2 lunches today, but you'll hear more about that soon. So firstly, for the scrambled tofu, I've just added in a little bit of oil to the pan, and then I'm going in with 1 serve of firm tofu. You want to crumble that so it's nice and crumbly, and then I'm adding in 1/3 cup of almond milk here just to add a bit of creaminess. Once you've kind of stirred that through a bit, we're adding in our spices. So I'm going in here with some curry powder. I love the flavor that this gives the tofu scramble, and I love adding in curry powder. It's just such a great addition, as well as some onion powder here and garlic powder later on. That's completely optional, but I just think it adds a bit of extra flavor. I'm also going in with a bit of paprika and turmeric just to add a bit of extra color and flavor to this tofu scramble. And again, you want to give that a good stir. Now it's starting to really look like tofu scramble, and I'm just adding in some pepper here. If you have black salt, I think it's called color namak. Anyway, you guys know what I mean. If you know, you know. You can look it up. It gives it a bit of a more eggy taste. So if you have that, definitely add it in there. But I don't have any at home, so I'm just adding in some nice veggies. You can add whatever veggies you like. I personally think it tastes great with spinach and mushroom, but you could add in tomato or whatever you have around the house just to add in a bit of extra nutrition in the morning. And then I'm adding in a few extra herbs and spices, just some extra curry powder, salt and pepper. And then I also just added in a splash of water to kind of cook everything through a bit more. So that is it for the tofu scramble. It's honestly so quick and easy, and it tastes so good, and it's packed full of protein. So today I'm just serving this up with half of an avocado, just, for the creamy element, to get those healthy fats in. And I just made it a kind of a bowl today. I mean, you could totally do this on top of toast, but I just didn't really feel like toast today, and I put a little bit of tomato relish on the side as well, and it was super yummy. So now we actually decided to go on a bit of a road trip today. So we are down by the beach, and we were at the beach and everyone was getting lunch. So I decided to have a second lunch. So this is a lentil and quinoa toasty. It was really, really tasty. So I had that, and I also had a couple of bites of another toasted sandwich, which was like a peanut butter banana one, which was really yummy. And I also had a bit of a coffee as well, which wasn't pictured. So then we went for a little hike and we saw this beautiful waterfall. It was so gorgeous and it was a really nice day. This waterfall was honestly so beautiful, and it was really nice to be amongst nature. With everything that's going on in the world at the moment, it's really nice to kind of connect with nature and just to relax a bit. So when I got back home, I wasn't super hungry since I did have those 2 lunches. So I decided to make something super light and quick and easy for dinner. So I decided to make this tofu sweet chili salad. So all I'm doing is pan frying some tofu. I cut it up nice and small so that it cooked quicker. It just makes it a lot easier. And I'm adding in here some garlic powder as well as some salt. And then you just want to give that a good stir and let it kind of sizzle and pan fry. This might take a few minutes, but it's worth it because, you know, it's lovely when your tofu is nice and cooked and crispy on the edges. So just give that a good cook. And then I did add in a little bit of soy sauce here just to add a little bit of flavor to it. Tofu really soaks up all the flavors you put into it, so I definitely do recommend adding in a bit of soy sauce when you're cooking it on the pan. So that was it for the tofu, and now I'm just going to assemble this super simple salad. All I'm adding in here is some fresh salad leaves. I've got some spinach, some lettuce, there was also a bit of cabbage and carrot in there. And then I'm adding in some fresh mint on top just to add a bit more flavor, as well as some edamame beans and some corn. These are actually frozen edamame and corn that I just heated up in the microwave for a minute. And now I'm adding in my tofu. And then finally, I'm going to top this bowl off with some sweet chili sauce. This is a low sugar sweet chili sauce, but I mean, you could definitely use the regular one. And then I'm also topping it off with some sesame seeds. And that was it. It was super refreshing and simple and light. And that was all I had for the day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.